We're going to talk about some of the mother types, and I feel like it's so important to preface this with we're never coming from a place of blame. I think that's why it can be so hard to talk about the mother wound, because we have to know how to acknowledge our lived childhood experience and heal our inner child without necessarily placing the blame on our parents, because it's not about blame. It's about taking responsibility for your life. It's about looking at where these wounds first came up in childhood, acknowledging them, and if you have to do healing work around forgiving your family, you can. It's also really healing to know that you don't need to change your parents to forgive them. We are adults, so we have that privilege and responsibility. So these archetypes I learned about, some of them may resonate, some of them may not. You might have had a fabulous childhood with support. That's why I'm saying visibility wounds can come from a number of places. I just want to present some of the things here that just opened up my eyes to why it was so hard for me to show up in my business, especially as a personal brand where your story and your body of work can be so personal. So the attacking mother might be physically or verbally abusive. She might scream at you, be demeaning, be bullying towards you. She might even be jealous of you, resenting. I should speak in the past tense. Might even resenting her daughter, and that gets projected onto you. So whether it was aggressive or passive, if you had an attacking mother, your inner voice is going to be that of an inner critic, because we internalize our parents' voices, right? That's where it first comes from, until we create our own sense of self. So you might have began to hate yourself, self-loathing, just as your mother taught you to. Your mother might not have even done it purposely. That's why it's so important not to have shame or guilt. I always say this, but our grandparents or maybe great grandparents were alive in the 1800s. The world wars, famine, all of these crazy things, these traumatizing things. We have to have compassion for our ancestors without blaming them. It's so healing. I feel like I get so passionate about this because I feel like we have such an opportunity to raise the global consciousness, and when we heal ourselves, we can heal our lineage. Again, I don't know if my mom is watching this, but if she is, so much of my healing work, I can see the difference on her without me having to say, Mom, you did this, you did that. No, I just get to take responsibility for myself and see that ripple effect in the people around me. That felt like a tangent. All right, what is the subconscious messaging of the attacking mother? You learn it's unsafe to have needs, it's not safe to be yourself, and you might engage in self-loathing and self-destructive behavior. The absent mother. So the absent mother, and by the way, this is a closed group, and I'm not sharing this anywhere but here. So if you're feeling, I know this can be a sensitive topic, but if you are resonating with this and you want to share, some of your experience growing up, what resonates, share it in the comments, because like I said, healing takes place in community, and even sometimes just sharing our story is so healing, just to be witnessed by another woman. All right, absent mother, a mom who she might not just have been present to your needs growing up, and this could be intentional or not, malicious or not, but it could even be your parents got divorced, and then one parent just wasn't present. I know that I lost my biological father very young, and then my adoptive father also was removed from my life, and I had a huge abandonment wound. So it also can show up if maybe your mom was physically present but emotionally absent. If your mom didn't attune to your needs and mirror back to you, this happens in the first, I think, 4 or 5 years of your life. If your mother doesn't attune and mirror back to you who you are, you don't learn how to have a sense of self. Some people can develop it over time, but some people get lost in it, right? And then they're constantly looking for validation outside. Hi, my life story. My name is Brittany. So the subconscious messaging, I'm not allowed to shine. I'm not allowed to have an opinion or be successful. I have to betray myself and my boundaries in order to be seen. I'm not worthy of love. No one can meet my needs. Something must be wrong with me. Seriously, as children, we create we attach the meaning to our stories growing up. Did I say that the wrong way? We attach stories to the meaning, to the experiences we have growing up. And like as a child, we don't realize we're doing that, but as an adult, when you go back to some of these memories, you can be like, wow, I can give this story a new meaning. And that in itself can be really healing. All right, the last one is the overbearing mother. And this is the one who seeks to control the child. She might smother her, or what we call in like current culture is the helicopter parent, where they're like really overly involved in their lives, lacking boundaries, violating personal space. The mother might have suffered from a personality disorder or narcissism. If anyone has had a narcissistic parent, then you know this pain. You know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of my clients do actually reveal that to me after that they had a narcissistic parent, and that's why they have such a hard time asserting themselves. Subconscious messaging. I don't have my own identity. It's not safe to let people into my life. I must close people out emotionally. I have to protect my space. It's not safe to share. Really quick side story. My ex had his parents would violate his space, and he told me the parents were always going to his bedroom when he was a kid, and he didn't know why. And he knew that if they were in there, because they would like move objects around, and it like developed this paranoia. So when we were dating, like he was so secretive. He didn't want, he was so, what's that word, territorial over things. So this can, really show up, and it can also show up as a visibility fear, because we don't want people meddling in our lives. We don't want them to know stuff about us. And if you're a public figure running a business, then it's really hard to run a business if you're hiding, right?